So you're probably using Exodus wallet and this is why you want to see this video. If this is the case, there's something I need to share with you so that you're aware of this and you know what to do in order to protect yourself, because you might be at risk. And it is something very simple that not many people are aware of. And I stopped using this wallet after all of my funds got stolen. But you don't have to stop using Exodus wallet. What I want to share with you is what is needed in order to protect yourself and to prevent this from happening to you. So let's get started. Welcome to Crypto Corner, everyone. My name is OJ and I've been doing these videos for many years now. I've actually been quite a supporter of Exodus wallet in the past, and I did videos where I even interviewed their team, their developers team, and I was recommending it as one of the safer options out there because it is not a hot wallet. It is type of a hybrid wallet where it's sort of cold storage, but it's not completely cold storage. In any case, it is a wallet that gives you your private keys, so it is very good in that regard, and it is quite safe. However, there is something that you need to do, and if you don't do that, you can end up like me, having all of your funds in that wallet being stolen. And this, of course, it's never your mistake if something like that happens. If you get hacked, it's never really your mistake, but there is something that you need to do in order to protect yourself, and it's as simple as deleting an email. And I'm going to explain why. So basically, when you sign up with Exodus wallet, they send you an email that is giving you your backup. It is a backup link. So it's not your backup phrase. Of course, your 12-word seed phrase or 24-word, whatever it was, seed phrase is displayed only to you, and the Exodus team cannot actually access that information. So you need to make sure that you keep that. This is number one. If you lose that and you don't have access to your, and you forget your password or something like that, you cannot reach out to the support team to get your password reset or anything like that. What you need to do is, in the beginning, as you sign up, they send you an email with a backup link. So this is basically, let me find it here. This is this email. This you receive at the moment you open your wallet. As you register and you create a backup phrase and everything, they send you this email, and it's got this link here at the bottom of the email. And this is the link that, in case you lose your backup phrase, in case you lose your password or whatever happens, you can use this link here to restore that wallet. So it's all very good and very useful to you. However, if you forget to delete this email and it's just sitting in your email account, then your email can get compromised and someone can get hold of this backup code, backup link, and then you're vulnerable. Then all of your funds can get stolen. This is exactly what happened to me. I had some EOS and some Ether in my Exodus wallet not long ago. It was actually a year ago now. It was last February when apparently someone managed to get hold of that email. Probably my email got compromised, and they went straight for that email. So I didn't even realize that my email got compromised because there was, and I'm using various emails for various things. So this is not an email that I'm using with all of my crypto services. Thank God. And it's an email that I'm mainly using for personal communication with friends and stuff like that. So there wasn't really anything that much that they can do with that email. However, it was enough that they managed to get this email, and with that link they were able to get into my Exodus wallet. From there they exchanged my EOS into Monero, and they sent that Monero to a private wallet, of course, so it cannot be traced, and the same with my very little bit of Ether that it was in there. So I reached out to the support team of Exodus wallet. They couldn't really do much about it, of course. They couldn't even give me information as to which are the wallets that this Monero was taken out to, whatever. The first thing they asked me though was, have you got your email compromised? And as I said, to my knowledge, my email was not compromised because there was no suspicious activity. I didn't really see anything, which was very clever on the hackers' side. This was a very clever way to mask their activity because they didn't really do anything else with my email to alert me, to make me suspicious of my email getting hacked. They didn't even delete this email. So, you know, everything was looking fine. But as the customer service explained to me, this is pretty much the only way that you know, a hacker can get access to your Exodus wallet. Of course, if your computer gets compromised, there are other ways to get into your Exodus wallet. But even if your computer is not compromised, it's as simple as just your email getting compromised. So you really have to go and find this email. It's called Exodus Backup Link. At least this was the subject of the email back then in 2017 when I started using Exodus Wallet. And I kind of stopped using it in late 2017 because I moved into hardware wallets. I started using Ledger and then Trezor and KeepKey. And later I added CoboVault Pro to my collection, and Apollo Cosmos is the latest device. I've already reviewed all of these devices. I've created step-by-step tutorials on how to use them and everything. And I do recommend that if you're going to be holding any coins longer term, you should be using these devices rather than any other software wallets. I mean, Exodus is kind of safe because, as I said, it is not a hot wallet per se. It is a hybrid. So even though it's you know, connect online and everything, most of the data is stored on your computer, which is still compromisable. So hardware wallet is still better than that, because with the hardware wallet, you always have to approve a transaction from the actual device. And then on the device, you see the wallet address that you are sending to and everything. You can compare it to the wallet address that you need to send it to, digit by digit, letter by letter. What you see on the screen, what you see on the device, make sure that it's all the same and correct and everything. So it is really far more secure than anything else. And this is why I also stopped using Exodus Wallet. I only kept a small amount of EOS, a small amount of Ether in there, just because it's also easier for, you know, if I need to make a transfer and I don't have my hardware wallet with me at the time, I can do it with my Exodus wallet. This was the main reason why I was using it. This is also the reason why I'm using blockchain or Coinbase sometimes, you know, just for ease of use. But I never keep big amounts in these wallets because they are hackable, and because I really have enough of hardware wallets to really store everything in there. These days, hardware wallets have big capacity. You can store many coins, but also I use multiple hardware wallets because I don't really want all of my crypto, all of my coins in one place in case I lose access to that hardware wallet. So there's many ways to protect yourself, but definitely hardware wallets is the best choice. And in fact, the Exodus database has been breached, even though they are not alerting us about this. I did get this email, which is a fake email. This is an email that is alerting me that 94,000 people, customers of Exodus, are at risk because there was a data breach, and 94,000 people, according to this email, their data is now being leaked. But I know that this is a fake email because I can see that it's coming from something called support@exodus-supports.com. Now, this is not the official email of Exodus. The official email is exodus.io, is support@exodus.io. So I know that this email here is a phishing email, and that's why it also has that button here, update. Alert, you know, basically it's asking me to click this button, which at this point it will probably install malware into my computer, and then I will get into even more trouble. However, the fact that this email is sent to my email that I have with Exodus already means that hackers know that I'm using this email with Exodus. And as I said, this is an email that I don't really use with other crypto services, and mainly for personal communication and stuff like that. So I don't really get crypto related spam in this email account. It is very unlikely that by random I will get crypto spam into this account, especially an email related to Exodus. So the fact that I received this email into my email account that I'm not using with other crypto services, I only use it with Exodus and another one or two accounts. And I didn't really get any spam mail related to those other accounts, but I get spam email related to Exodus. So there has been a breach in a data breach from Exodus. They don't really tell us about this, and even when I reached out to customer services, they didn't tell me that they've had a data breach. All they asked me was, has my email been compromised? And they told me that I do have this email with the backup code and that I should find it and delete it. So what you need to do is you need to find this email that was being sent to you at the point of signing up for Exodus. You need to copy this link, which is your backup link, and just save it in a file somewhere. Save it in outside of your computer, so in a hardware drive or a USB, somewhere else that is not in your computer, and immediately delete this email. Don't keep it in your email database. Don't even keep it in your trash can. Make sure that you go into the trash or bin, whatever it's called, that folder in your email, and you delete it from there as well. Especially with Google, I found emails in my bin from 3 years ago when I was clearing, when I was going to clearing all kinds of emails, old data and stuff like that. In fact, I was seeing that my Google Drive was being full, and with Google Drive, it's quite a big capacity, and I don't really use it for anything else. One of my accounts. So when I was going to check why is my Google Drive almost full, I found out that all of the images and all of the emails and stuff from years ago that I thought I've deleted were still sitting there in the bin. Make sure that you go in your bin folder or trash folder, whatever it's called, and you delete all of that stuff. And this email, make sure that you delete it as many times as you need to. Don't just accidentally keep it in your email account. So this is what I wanted to alert you with. I don't need you to stop using Exodus. I stopped, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop using Exodus. Exodus is still a relatively safe wallet. It is one of the safer options out there. And this is why I feel that if you do these steps to protect yourself, then you're good to go. You don't really have to stop using Exodus. This is not a video against Exodus per se. However, I stopped using it because I lost trust in them, and the fact that they couldn't really do anything to even provide me with information about this data breach. They didn't share with me the fact that they have had data breach, and I'm only alleging this right now. I don't know it for a fact because they have not made an official statement about it. But I've lost trust in Exodus. This is why I will not be using it anymore. And also make sure that you don't use, you don't keep your coins in hot wallets longer term, or even exchanges. I mean, exchanges also get hacked all the time. Wallets and exchanges get hacked all the time. In fact, I just posted this on my blog here, this article, which is called Hacked Crypto Exchanges. And I'm listing here all the exchanges that I'm personally aware of, all the hacks from 2011, up until last year. December last year is my latest entry, Litecoin. This was quite a bad hack, actually. They never recovered from this. This exchange actually is already deceased, and many people lost money and everything. So I've got here 59 entries so far, and I will keep updating this. I will keep adding more entries as we go along. 59 different hacks in the last 10 years have happened. Pretty much every major exchange that you can think of has been hacked, including Binance, including KuCoin, including bitmex, and I think maybe Bittrex has not been hacked yet. And Bitpanda, these are two of the exchanges that I'm using that I didn't find any records of being hacked, but pretty much everything else has been hacked. You can see how many of these, and we're going all the way back to 2011. So it is not safe to keep your coins on exchanges or hot wallets such as Coinbase, for instance. And Coinbase is safe in a way because they have, extra steps of security and everything, but you never know what could happen. So make sure that if you're holding any coins longer term, I mean, if you're trading these coins right now and you want to, in the next few weeks or even in the next month or something, you want to be trading a certain coin, then it's okay to keep it on an exchange. But generally, I wouldn't keep coins on exchanges if I'm going to hold them for more than 2 or 3 months or 4 months or 5, 6 months or anything like that. And also, if you are going to be holding them on exchanges because it's more convenient, then at least spread them across a few different exchanges. Don't hold everything in one place, because if something happens and it gets hacked, you don't really want to lose everything. So this is what I wanted to say in this video. I don't really want to make it very long. This is everything. Hopefully this is helping you guys and it's going to be beneficial to you. And if it is, share it with someone else who would also benefit from watching it. Also show your support by leaving a like and a comment below. Let me know, have you been hacked? What did you do in order to recover your funds? Were you able to recover your funds? And are you holding many coins on exchanges? Do you feel safe by holding them on exchanges? All of these things I want to know about. Let's get the conversation going, and I can do a follow-up video if necessary. This is everything from me for this video. Thanks for staying until the end, and I'm going to see you tomorrow in my next video. I'm going to do yet another one of those videos where we look at the market and we talk about the current state of the market and different cryptocurrencies. What can we expect in the next few days, in the next few weeks as well. I just did one of these videos yesterday where I went through the market, and hopefully you managed to catch this one. So tomorrow will be another update on the market. Today I just wanted to share this with you because security is really important, and unfortunately many people are a little bit blasé about security. They feel that it's not going to happen to them, and it happens to everyone. So this is it from me. Thanks for staying until the end again. I'm going to see you tomorrow in the next one.